Good morning. It's morning here. I don't know what it is at your end of the world. There are so many people who are watching from all over the world that when I say good morning, you'll have to translate and say good evening or bonsoir or or any one of a number of languages too. So let's hope that you are all well and happy this morning. It is I'd say about 72 degrees outside, very sunny, and I believe we're going up to about 80 today. So it's going to be absolutely lovely here in Victoria for another couple of days, and then suddenly it's going to cool down apparently. So I'm planning on being outside for the next few days just to experience the last bit of summer. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Lynn. So good to see you both. Thank you so much for dropping in. It's always fun to make sure that my stream is working correctly, and lately there's been no problem, so I'm feeling much less anxious. Oh, that's really good. So, what was I going to do today? Oh yes, as everyone is coming on board and just sharing a few things, personal things, I really noticed that I am enjoying being outside quite a bit lately, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm feeling a lot better, and that has to do with the fact that I'm doing some exercises. And so don't forget to do a lot of exercise, do your share of exercise, because it actually makes you happier, and you don't have to walk. If you can't walk, do some other exercise. There seems to be all these other things, including chair yoga and wall Pilates. There's so many different ones, and just don't forget to do it, because it's so easy. When we're stitching, we get into our own bubble, and for hours at a stretch we can be sitting. So remember to get up and stretch a little bit and do a few yoga moves while you're at it. I've got myself set up now and I didn't have it until just this week. I finally got a place that I can actually do the exercises without bumping into something in this small apartment that I've got now. So I'm very happy to have that, and it really makes a difference to my mood, and also physically I feel more alive and awake. So I do want to remind you all that as you're stitching, remember to loosen off your neck and your back and your shoulders particularly. Do these ones, whatever those ones. And don't forget to do some exercise, okay? Good morning. Good morning, Donna Granger. You're here from sunny. It's sunny there too. It certainly is here. And by the way, Donna, I am almost ready with the designing of the Christmas drum pincushion. So I just wanted to give you a heads up, and we'll be in touch with each other. But because you're our official stitcher, I thought it would be nice for you to know. And also to give you a little shout out. Your stitching is lovely, and I'm really enjoying your progress reports on the village drum pincushion, because that's the one you're working on right now. Also, I wanted to say a couple of things that as I was looking through the pictures, there's just so many people that have done so many things. Nancy, and by the way, I'm not going to give your last names anymore because of privacy. I think my daughter Petra mentioned it, and I thought, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. So I'm going to just say your first name, and if there's a confusion, maybe your first initial, but that's all, so that you feel more comfortable. Okay, so Nancy did the August cottage. She completed that, and so many people did the September cottage already. I can't believe it, and posted it. So if you've done, or even are in progress, like Gabor was in, upload those photographs. Having progress pictures is just as exciting for me to see what you're doing. Mary W. and Marie Therese, Paola, Lynn, Marty, you all did the September cottage, and if I've missed anyone, please forgive me. I can't, track everyone down, but all of you have done just slightly differently, beautiful jobs. The one I liked really a lot was, I think Lynn did one, and she made blue hearts, those rose hearts, and they look really cute. So I guess with all the orange and yellow, to put a little bit of blue there was just a very nice, interesting touch. And it looks like also Gabor has also started not just on the September cottage, but also on the quilter's shop, or the quilt shop, the gingerbread quilt shop, and the cottage garden sampler. So he's working on 3 things from Victoria Sampler. Way to go, Gabor. Joanna did very good progress on the gingerbread haunted house, which is a huge project. So Joanna, that you did all of side one, awesome, congratulations. That is a lot of work, and I know you didn't start it very long ago. It's maybe just last week. So well done. And let's see who else. Diane completed the mermaid pocket and all the accessory smalls. Diane J. I am so impressed by your finishing. I think Lisa most likely would agree with me. That is superb finishing. Well done. And I believe that it's because of Lisa's instructions, mostly your talent, though, because your talent is very, very good in this regard. Your finishing is amazing. It looks like you might be a finisher. In other words, someone who does this for a living. It looks so good. So well done on that. And Donna, I noticed that you were doing the village pincushion and you're giving us progress reports. To me, progress reports are almost like better than, once weekly. It doesn't have to be like all the time, but just so that people can see this growing. It's such a nice thing for you to do. It really inspires people. Donna, thank you so much. And I noticed you put the leaflet in front so people can immediately see what leaflet is. Well done. That was really smart. So I'm going to go on now. Lynn and Donna and then Joe. Hello, Joe. How are you? I'm so glad that you're here. And Tammy made it this time too. Good for you. Nancy, good afternoon from Connecticut. Actually, I think Connecticut has got some pretty good weather right now. I hope so anyway. I know that there's been some pretty bad weather and very hot weather too. Marty, good morning. Leaf Lady, exactly. 72 in the Adirondack Mountains in New York. If I got that right, Adirondack is ADK. And then Marcia, good morning from Dallas. Good morning. And Jennifer, hello from Wisconsin. Oh, it looks like Louise Fossa is here also. Well done. Thank you for coming. And Cindy, good morning from hot Southern California. Yes, it is very warm there at this time of year, I know. So hopefully that will clear up as the autumn progresses. Kathy Bird, it's sunny Northern Virginia. Oh, I can just see the sunshine on your face. Hello, Kathy. And Diane Zamudio from Killeen, Texas. Sunny. Oh, I'm not supposed to say people's last name. I won't do it anymore. I promise. It's just that that's how I think of you. Sorry. Diane. Mid 80s. Way to go. Yahoo. Lisa says, great suggestions, Thea. I finished cutting all the linen pieces. Forgot to stretch before cutting, so I'm feeling a little stiff today. Yeah, exercising, no matter what it is we do, especially repetitive tasks. Thanks for mentioning that, Lisa, and congratulations for doing all the cutting. When we talk after this this stream, because Lisa and I have a little standing date after the stream today, I think I will discuss with you all of the things that you've done and all of the efforts we're making to make it possible to send out the kits ASAP. But as you know, Lisa, we've been having some trouble with one of our suppliers, and it's truly, truly challenging to see what we can do in order to be able to accommodate everyone and make sure that we get things sent out on time. But we're working on it, and we're actually really having to scramble to see if maybe we can substitute one thread, because if we don't, we may not get all of the kits out for a while. So I think you all know that Kranich has just changed ownership, so their whole system is not the same as we were used to for 25 years. So, and it's not their fault, I know, but we just walked into it and didn't realize that not all the threads are available to them even, and I'm sure there's back orders all over the place at the moment while they're getting things set up there. Good morning. Oh, you're welcome, Lynn. Good morning, Sally. Sally S. Exactly. Thank you. Jean Morrison. Good morning. Good morning. And Julia. Good morning. Aw, that is so sweet. Excited to make the live stream. I'm so happy you did too. And I certainly hope you come back. It is really fun to have people here. And I really recognize the people who have come here on, often, or new people like yourself. I'm really glad you're here. Thank you. Julia and Joanna, good morning. I mentioned you this morning because literally, Joanna, you did beautifully on the gingerbread haunted house. That progress pic is really excellent. Good stitching, really well done in such a short time. Dorothy, a little late, always pleasant. Oh, thank you. You also, I know, I've seen pictures of you. You also have a smiling face. I think smiling is, I don't know if it uses up more or less. I think it uses up less muscles in your face. So having a smile on your face is something that, doesn't cost very much. And it makes people feel better when they have to see you like you do here. I'd love to have pictures of everyone else here instead. Yes, good. We'll have our little chat later. Thanks, Lisa. And missing Via's chat time last week has just thrown me out of sync. Aw, Marty, I might have to go in the blanket fort Saturday. Yeah, well, you mentioned that, actually. You've been doing a lot of stitching and maybe a lot of other things as well. So get in that blanket fort and get yourself recharged. Thank you so much for all of you who have not just arrived here, but also posted. Let's see. Oh, yes, I did want to mention one thing. I got this most wonderful review on our, in the Academy, in the Victoria Sampler Academy. We have only 8 courses there, but all 8 courses are available there. And actually, they include the patterns that I teach. So, for instance, in Beyond Cross Stitch, or BCS, as we like to call it, in the Beyond Cross Stitch Level 1, you'll get all 10 patterns of the Beyond Cross Stitch Level 1. That is a series that we put out years and years ago, but each one of the designs has a stitch that you focus on, and it's taught in depth, and you can see and follow every step of the way in a video. Really, it's just amazing to me to see it now. I can't believe I did all of that work in teaching and also in doing the videos themselves. The videos are now not as clear as they would be if I were using modern technology. As you can tell, they're a little bit older, but each one of the stitches is explained well if you can handle the low light that I had at the time. Anyway, Corinna, who has just started with, I think it was Introduction to Stitching, Cross Stitching on Linen, which she wanted to take. So she just finished it and she wrote, I'm so proud of this. This is so good. The class, which was the one she took, the class was very easy to follow, which is nice for me to hear. The explanations were very good, and I enjoyed stitching along with Thea. She has a very calm way of explaining things, and for this reason, I decided to get the Beyond Cross Stitch Level 1, too, so I could learn more stitches. I learned a lot in a couple of hours. I'm very happy I discovered the courses. So that kind of a feedback for me really encourages me to create more courses. But I don't know how many of you are really, how can I put it, interested in courses themselves. And of course, we can't create courses without having you pay for them. And right now, all these courses are not just on sale, they're on sale for a lot off, like a lot. It said 20%, but I think there's a lot less, a lot more percentage taken off each of the original prices. So please go and have a look at them if you're in doubt of any of the levels. In other words, level 1 is simple, mostly crossed stitches, specialty stitches. And then level 2 is about silk ribbon, and it teaches you all about how to put your needle through the actual eye of the needle and then poking it so that it's pulled onto the end of the needle. It teaches you how to manipulate the silk ribbon and not to get all caught up in making it tight, make it looser so that it looks like, floral kind of ribbon work. There's all sorts of wonderful things in level 2, and level 3 is more complicated techniques and specialty stitches. And level 4 has hem stitching and pulled thread stitching. And both of those are techniques that are really easy to learn. And once you've gone through all 10, you will be able to even do any other pulled thread very well. And then finally, of course, you've got levels 5 and 6. Level 5 is the beginner hardanger. And it's done literally step by step. The first one is teaches you how to do cluster blocks correctly so that you don't cut into them when you're cutting later. So this is a no cut pattern where you're not cutting at all. You're just learning how to do the clusters. The next one, you are taught how to do the cutting and also very simple weaving. So as it goes, level 5 in particular is very, what is it called, where something is consequential? No, it goes in consecutive, that's the word. It goes consecutively, step by step through the entire 5 patterns, and they're included in the pattern in the class. So you don't have to go out and buy them. So anyway, you can use any threads you want, any of the threads in your stash to do the work itself, to practice along with me. But I really recommend that you go and have a look at those courses while they're still on sale this September. Okay. Let's see, what else? Sue Donnelly, hello. Good to see you. I hear that someone else said that it's lovely weather in Connecticut, so I assume you're still in Connecticut. Have I got that right? And Jennifer Hansen, Jennifer, it's nice to see you. Hello. Marty says she took the sugar plum ornament to her EGA meeting. Wow, for show and share, there were, 35 O's and Ahs. Oh, that is so nice of you. Thank you for doing that. I certainly hope. I promoted victoriashandler.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very kind of you, Marty. I always appreciate your encouragement and your appreciation. Margaret says, oh, good, a bit late, but I guess better late than absolutely. Glad you're here, Margaret. Always nice to have you here. You're such a contributor on our group as well as here. And Marty says, hi, Sue. Oh, good. There we go. So after those, after that wonderful review, I have to say I am feeling so much more like making more courses. Is there anyone who's got an idea of a course that they wish they had? And it could be on one of my patterns. The course could be on one of my patterns, or it could be on designing. I've been thinking about creating a course on how to design in whatever software you're using. It's not the software part of things that I want to do because there are many different cross-stitch programs out there. But I was hoping that somebody would be interested in learning how to design your own piece, whether it's big or small, something that makes you feel like, okay, I designed this. Someone else give me hints and ideas, but I designed it. And I was wondering if that's something that you're interested in. Dory, you're here, finally made it. I can't believe it. Are you in America or are you in Europe? That's my big question. Yeah, I'm so glad you made it. Very, very nice. Okay, so what I did when I wait for your comment to come in, because there is a bit of a delay when we're doing live streaming, so my reading out of your comments is probably delayed because your comments are delayed, but that's fine. The thing that I wanted to show you today is that, let's see, that, thanks Lisa, that we did have a number of finishing leaflets, we called them, right, Lisa? We had about 18, I believe, leaflets, booklets. Inside of they were very big, and they had a lot of colored pictures in them, and they literally were more created for finishing than for the object on the front cover, or objects, because there were several things in many of the patterns. So one of the things we did, though, was we, at the end or near the end of our last year's closing, or semi-retirement, we'll call it, when I had to sell the house and we don't have a studio anymore. One of the things that we did was we condensed some of those Belle finishing leaflets, not just the Belle one, and we renamed them according to the type of and the name on the design itself. So that is somewhat misleading because you don't know which ones are finishing and which ones are not. So I think we might make a collection so that you know which of our leaflets actually also contain a massive amount of finishing instructions that we spent a long time on, didn't we, Lisa? Aw, that's really cool. Let me see what people are saying about the design course. Oh, there's Lisa, thank you. And Marty is looking forward to black work. Oh, that is such a It is a beautiful system, and it relies heavily on the Holbein stitch, as you probably know. Doing the Holbein stitch correctly and making sure that you don't backtrack over too many previously stitched areas is a real trick, and it involves kind of a system in your mind where you are making journeys, is what I call it. So you go backwards, you go forwards, and you skip a bunch, and you make sure that there are a bunch left, stitches in other words, a bunch of stitches left for you to stitch as you go backwards. But very often you can end up in a blind sort of area, right, where you can't go back. And I think that's one of the tricks with black work, is to make sure that when you're creating black work, you don't do that. And you've got reversible black work. That, I think that's a little beyond my capability. I know there is a book out there though for reversible black work. You might want to Google that, because that's very, very particular, and it really depends on a variety of things, whether you can make it reversible or not. So that's pretty specialized, but thank you very much. Anita, hello, good morning. Yes, I would be interested. You would? That is so cool. You want a design course too? Oh, Dory's still living in Florida. I'm so glad you're in Florida. It's such a wonderful place. I think that there are a number of people that live in or near Florida. I won't say who, but I think you're in good company, Dory. Any ideas on finishing courses you might be interested in? Yes, I think Lisa would really like to know that also. Julia says, I would absolutely love a finishing course for the 3D patterns. There we go, Lisa. I think we have a design course and finishing courses. Those were the two that we had thought of. Marty says color theory and how to choose substitute colors. Gosh, you have no idea. I've got one half made, Marty. Diane Holbein would be very nice. Thank you. Good to know. Margaret would like to leave to designing to you. I tried once and rather be stitching. I love following the YouTube videos where you stitch your designs all the way to finishing. Now that's a really good idea. You know, I was looking at my camcorder because that's all I have right now to record. And I was thinking, what if I just record? It doesn't have to be live. I record a series of videos. So that's exactly what you're saying. So then I quit, and then I start again, and I stitch that part and also record it and then make it one long video. Is that what you're looking forward to? Because that kind of thing it's like when you turn on that video, you'll be stitching with me. You'll be stitching along, right? You're not just stitching, but you're stitching along with someone else, and you're in the same room with someone else. I love that idea. Aurelia, good morning, good morning. Joe says, your angel cards inspired me to do a stitching version. Ooh, nice idea. I thought up 14 stitch-related things. Work at least 15 minutes on a work in progress, work on a Halloween fall piece, and I pull one each day and do it. Oh, neat idea. So you've got an angel card that isn't about angels, but you've created your own, and on each one of them it tells you what your angel wants you to do that day. Fabulous idea. Love that idea. Joe, that is marvelous. I'm really excited about that. Thank you so much for sharing that thought. Those of you who understand what she's saying, I love that idea. Wonderful. I think I might just incorporate that idea into my own life. Thank you so much. B, good morning from Saskatchewan. Hello. Hello, everyone, she says. That's so nice to have you here, B. Haven't seen you for a little while. Let's see. Yes, we certainly did a lot of time. Sally says yes on the finishing leaflets. Okay, cool. So making those into a collection sounds like a good idea. I think that's what Sally's meaning. Yes, for all things finishing. Okay, great idea. Thank you so much. Sorry, Jennifer, I think it is. Yes, Jennifer. And when you say great idea, remember I've said a number of things. So those of you who reply on something, I'd love it if you would say what the idea is, for instance, because it's hard for me to go back with my 75-year-old brain and figure out what was the idea that I came up with that you liked. It's not your fault, honestly. It's just that it takes a while for the comments to show up, Jennifer. So I can't recall what I said 30 seconds ago, never mind a minute ago. Jennifer says the stitching video would be wonderful. You know, I really like the idea, and I'm just about to start attaching some the things for the bling tree. I'm not even going to talk about what they're going to be, but I've got them now in my hot little hands, and I am dying to start attaching them. So maybe I'll see if I can train a video camera on my hands and just stitch and not really say very much. I might even turn on some music or whatever, so that I have to be careful of copyright, I think, if it's on YouTube. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, from stitching all the way through to finish. Yes, so we can stitch along with you and finish as well. Yes, exactly. Oh, that sounds awesome. Would love a stitching video. Oh, and would love to see you stitching, finishing things. Now remember, when we talk about finishing, we're not talking about a free video. We are, because of the effort involved, it would be a class, and you would be able to stitch along with us because our classes last for a year. So that would be no problem at all. And if you do have the video, you might not be able to kind of finish it at the same time as Lisa's finishing it, but you can start and stop it anytime you want. If you're in the process of finishing a certain section, then you can go to that section and see how she's doing it. And my inane comments, just turn them off. Aw, great idea on the stitch and finish with you. No, it's no finishing with me. It's going to be a course for finishing, but perhaps I can do a stitching with me on YouTube. Okay, Diane says, will the Bling Tree 2 be a PDF? Honestly, Diane, don't know yet. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. All I know so far is I'm making it. So the way it's going to be presented to you, you will find out. I believe it's going to be a kit, if I'm not mistaken. We may not include the linen this time. We may just include the bling in our kit, and it will be like an accessory pack. But so because the linen is more difficult to get than the bling would be. So. Well, actually, that's not true. Anyway, so again, I just don't know yet. We haven't made up our minds, and we, meaning Petra, Lisa, and I, make that decision together in terms of making sure that our company continues to pay for itself and still pay us as well, because we don't do this only because we love it. It is primarily the reason we love it, but that we love it, but we also have to be able to kind of pay for all the things that we're doing here. So it's important that you realize that most of these things that we're talking about are going to be marketed as well. So we're going to be selling things like our courses, or you can register for them. Double yes on the finishing course. It would be well worth any cost. Thank you, Sally. You're absolutely right. Lisa's finishing is phenomenal. So I think that might be our next series of courses. It looks like there's a lot of reaction to finishing courses. So thank you, Lisa, for mentioning that. It was something that I hadn't even considered when I was talking about creating a new course. But we have some finishing videos already, so we can make some courses fairly quickly out of those. So thanks for all of your reaction and your enthusiasm. It's so exciting. I can't tell you. We are looking for ways that we can interact with you better and that we can present you with something new. And this sounds like it's going to be something wonderful. Joe says, maybe for the Bling Tree 2, you could offer a kit with linen and a kit without. Absolutely. All these things are possible. So thanks, Joe. You know, when we start talking together, the three of us, we throw out things. Some of us are a little more flexible than others. I'm finding myself as flexible as I can possibly be, that I've never been so flexible in my life. But that's what happens when you semi-retire. You start to realize that it's not just, you know, my way or the highway. And in the past, I think there's been a little bit of that for sure, where I really feel confident that we're going to be able to do it this way or that way. And nowadays, I'm feeling a lot less like that. I think it's probably just age. You know, I know as I get older, I feel like I know less and less and less. I'm sure of less and less. Anyway, so as far as finishing goes, this is one leaflet or one booklet that is, thanks Louisa Fossa, this is one leaflet that is a finishing, and it's called Bell Pull Finishing. Now you may look at the designs and go, yeah, maybe not, maybe. It's kind of cute, but maybe not in my wheelhouse. However, it's the finishing part that is so important. I believe there's 3 different ways of finishing in this one. There's the fold over bell pull, it's called, like this one. And so we included patterns with this finishing booklet. Fold over bell pull, the hem stitched bell pull, the blanket stitched bell pull, which is so cool, and even an alphabet. And then look at this. This is where you go crazy because you've got all this wealth of information, the materials that are suggested for each type of bell pull. There's one, there's another one. Let's see if I can do this. There's all of the suggestion on, still on the hem stitch bell pull, including, you know, a wonderful diagram on this side. And then there's also the blanket stitched bell pull on this side. So there's a lot, not just color photos, but accurate information. Lisa has created this beautiful, beautiful 3 ways of doing bell pulls. And I can show you the little pattern actually. She's done them in so many different ways. This one was, I think, the fold over one, and you can just see the fold over on the back. Look how beautifully finished that is. So that, you know, on each side you can put in the bell pull hardware in the little pocket that's formed by this flap that's going to be folded over on the back. This one is, let's see, what's this one called? I'm not actually sure what this one is called, but it's a different way of making a pocket on the bottom and on the top, and still beautifully finished on the back. So it's not a fold over. Lisa, what's this called? And then this one is also, this is the one that's got the hem stitching. And look how pretty. I mean, really. And look at the back, how pretty that is. And the way Lisa has done it, she's done it with contrasting thread, which normally she would use thread that's the same color as the linen. But in this case, she's done it with the violet. And I believe that the pattern also gives us, gives us 2 colorways. One is in pink and one is all the lavender ones I showed you. And this one is like made into a little pocket, which I absolutely love this. It's actually a really great idea to have a name tag one, so you can just put it around your neck and have a little pocket for when you're in a retreat somewhere, or you're going to someone's house and you just want to have something around your neck to hold your phone. You can hold your meal tickets. You can hold your license if you're driving. You can hold a variety of little things in here, or your scissors for that matter. So I found that this, making it into a pocket, is what I really liked. And then along with that, I think in this same pattern, I'm not sure, this little pattern, is this a free pattern, Lisa? I think it is. So we're going to have to make sure that if it is, we will have to, not a free pattern, sorry, a mini pattern, which I don't think we've made that yet. So anyway, so that is the pattern called bell pull finishing, and I will be sure to put that back in my library, because I have a library of all our leaflets, even though those are lovely, says Diane. Aw. Jennifer says, your instruction for stitching and finishing have always been the best in the industry. I appreciate how much I've learned from you. Oh, Jennifer, another incredible review. Really, you make our day when you say things like that, and I know you mean them. It's not something that you just toss off, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Sally's going to order that later today. It's obviously not just about the design, but the design is cute too. It's just not like when you see the front cover, you think, oh, that's about that design. But no, it's literally about bell pull finishing. And that is what it's called, bell pull finishing. Oh, that's from the Close at Heart set. Oh, I get it. Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to put it in the right drawer. We have all these drawers where we keep all of our models in. Thank you. Marty says she did that pocket name tag for Stitcher's Hideaway last year, and she's gotten a lot of queries about where to get. Now you know, it's called bell pull finishing. You wouldn't actually be able to know what it is because we didn't give the pattern itself a name, just bell pull finishing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was the first finishing leaflet we did. Exactly, Lisa. And I'm not sure if we ever did a video for that, but wouldn't that be nice also? Anyway, if you have ever some idea that you're going to do some finishing and maybe make videos out of it, that may be one of the ones we can do. Wonderful. Sue says, I just need to mention that you're a total babe in that top. Sue, thank you, thank you. That top for me has been, it's actually very warm here today, so it's been my go-to top when I'm too warm. This morning I was doing a lot of things, exercising, one of them, thank you, thank you. But also having those colors, etc. I always feel bright and sunny and summery. I remember wearing this a lot in Mazatlan, so thanks very much for noticing, so sweet of you. Let's see, who else is saying yes to a finishing class? Well, this is obviously one of the absolutely best Stitch Along Fridays so far. Great ideas, superb interaction with you guys. I'm so happy that I asked some of those questions, and also that you came up with some of your own suggestions. Much appreciated. You have no idea. Oh, Lisa says, same with the name tag pocket. Okay, so that is actually nothing to do. Stitching is my passion. But the name tag pocket, oh, I don't understand. We're going to have to go through this on Zoom later. Okay, thank you. Dorothy, yes, I'm so a babe. Absolutely. I agree. Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Dorothy. Okay, let's see now. I think that the last thing I want to leave you with, since it was just after 10 o'clock, so I really have to go, but I do want to show you the two Halloween designs just at the end of our little session, because the Pumpkin Patch Farm is still one of my absolutely all-time favorites. And I think, let me just make sure that I'm showing all of it. There we go. The Pumpkin Patch Farm turned into it's just such a autumny thing. It's nothing really big Halloween, but you know what it's like. You go past all these small farms that in your neighborhood, in your area, maybe you don't know, but I do, because we have these farms. And as we're driving down the highway towards Sydney from Victoria, there's one big farm on the right called Mitchell's, and they have, from now until probably the end of October, they have pumpkin picking going on, and these little kids are out there. There's a couple of them right there. There's one right here. I'll just show you. The two little kids are in there. They're picking these gigantic pumpkins. And there's chickens around, and there's people in the fields and behind. And there's some more sunflowers, which I love. And then, of course, they have a big barn. I have to say, though, the big barn doesn't look anything like this. This was my fantasy barn. Their barn is really kind of dumb looking, so I didn't want to use their barn. But I love these pumpkin farms, because at first you see all green, 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 and then all of a sudden, poof, you'll see all of the pumpkins come out, like within a couple of days of one another. All the orange pumpkins just, I think it's because they either take off all the foliage or the foliage just dies back, and then you've got the pumpkins left over. So I love pumpkin farms. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. Thank you. And Lisa loved having it later. That's right. Angel card. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Almost forgot. Thank you. Thanks for mentioning it. You, and that's you and me, are valuable to many. And I think reminding yourself that you're valuable is a wonderful way to end this stream, this morning Stitch Along Friday stream. You are valuable to many. And you know who you're valuable to, I hope, and I certainly feel valuable in this this world that we've created, this stitching world. Thank you so much, all of you. I'm going to say goodbye now, and then I'm going to also remember that I say goodbye twice. So I'm going to now say goodbye, and I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful weekend, and again, I'll see you on next Friday. Lots of love. Bye-bye.